Welcome to another 99-second slam Halloween version, which means your co-hosts, me, I'm a host, and Steph from Story Jam, we're in costumes, kind of, and a few of our participants are in costumes. And perhaps if you are joining us and you would like to show yourself and you're in a costume, we would love to see you. So let us see your video and let's just see your costume as we wait for people to join us here. Season 5, slam number 2 of the 99-second. Steph, this has been going since last August. We still have Stein. Yeah.
Last August.
Yeah.
And these people are such pros now after that, all of that.
People are getting better. There are some people in our audience who have also been on the 99. They've told stories themselves. You are not Mary. And Mary
I'll never be Mary. I'll never be Mary.
We have a special guest this evening. Many of you know who she is, whether you are here on Zoom or watching or listening on Facebook Live. Steph Rogers from Story Jam is joining us. She really, I can't give the proper kind of introduction other than her name is Steph and she's from Story Jam. She's in Chicago. This evening, we have a different kind of evening because we have 10 storytellers vying to get to the second round, which will make them eligible for the Grand Slam. Of course, we will only have one actual winner this evening who wins money, actual real lettuce, dough, bread, fill in whatever word you want. Thank you all for being here. We are gonna officially get started and pick our first names at about 7:09. That's about 6 or 7 minutes from now. So Steph, what do you want to talk about? People are here on Facebook Live, a few maybe watching and listening. They can't vote. They can't vote. The only people who can vote are here on Zoom with us, and voting is fun. I think you'd agree.
Do they know how to get in here and vote if they want to get in?
Well, they were supposed to buy a ticket, really.
Ooh, but it's not too late to Venmo you for a ticket, right?
Venmo at Sean Wellington. Get in here. Join us. You can vote several times. It's fun. Truly, the more people we have voting, probably the fairer it is. It'll be fair either way, but right, you have more people. And that's how it is. Steph, question for you. You can see on your screen, I don't know if you're watching this wherever you are, you might be on speaker mode, which means you see me, which I suggest you get off that shit, because who wants to look at me for a long time? Or you might see Steph, who's nodding. She's in a costume. And what I wanted to ask Steph here, as I am literally trying to kill time, I hope I'm doing a good job, is what are you dressed as this evening, young lady?
I'm Mary, Queen Mary. This is my Queen Mary costume.
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm wearing black and purple. So that's my starting point.
So you are literally trying to be Mary, who is the co-host usually.
Right. I'll never be Mary, but
and she will never be you. Her main role, other than being charming and lovely like you are, is to summarize the stories, which helps people who are voting and also helps me when I make the poll. We will go over how that works in a few moments. I think most people here know how it works, but of course I'll go over that again. Steph, as a co-host, you can also be letting people in, I think. We have 23. That's not bad for Halloween. I hope everyone is having a good Halloween, whatever that means for me. And we're going to get to know our storytellers between round 1 and 2. We usually don't do that, but today's a little different. Now, my day, Steph, was buying candy for what I thought would be trick-or-treaters, and then playing some pickleball, and then coming back and then making a bowl of candy, and then taking an old pizza box and then putting help yourself, parentheses, but leave some for others. And then I have not had one trick-or-treater.
Well, that lasted for 10 minutes. Your candy is gone.
I guarantee you right now, and it might be because I live in a bit of a sketchy neighborhood, there has not been one trick-or-treater. It's like it doesn't exist in Chapel Hill.
Really?
Not this area.
You better check your front door for eggs.
Well, okay.
Splattered egg on your front door right now. I bet it's there. Go look.
To some people who said, a couple people who said, like, and I think they're both happen to be in Massachusetts, they had like 100 trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, we get 400-ish.
At your house?
Yes. Because we live on a corner.
Can anybody who's here, whether you're a teller or not, unmute yourself if you had, like me, no trick-or-treaters today?
I just have wildlife.
Angela did not have one. Francesca is in Louisville. She didn't have one. Angela, where are you? You're in Massachusetts too, right?
I'm in Northampton, so I get nothing here, but I moved here from a neighborhood in Chicago that used to get 1,400 per house.
Wow.
What are you? Who counts this?
People would buy candy and they, keep track of like, oh, I bought a bag of 500, and they would know at the end of the night.
Steph, when there might be an opportunity.
No trick-or-treaters.
What's that?
No trick-or-treaters in New York.
Nothing.
In my building.
Yeah.
Zero here in Vegas.
Building is trick. Nothing, Richard?
No, but it's still early here. But
Right.
Usually we do get nothing anyway.
Some parts of the city are like New York City and Chicago.
Richard.
The buildings are hard, right? Some of them you just can't get in. So kids are going to go to brownstones or other places, in places like Chicago or New York. But we don't have that here. Linda, you don't have that there either. Don't tell me that you have big things in West Virginia.
No, ever since I disassembled my still, no one comes around anymore.
Okay. Sorry.
You're still?
Even with that, I'm glad you chose to wear a costume this evening. Hey, by the way, I'm not sure if those that are wearing costumes, and there are at least 2 of our storytellers who are, I don't know if that's going to help you or hurt you in the voting, but either way, I really appreciate you doing that. It is what you do on Halloween, and I think that's a good thing. Huh? Would you say, Steph, that my time killing skills are not good?
You're always improving.
That's a really good way to put it. Let's give an overview of what tonight's going to be, and then we'll roll into it because we do have all our storytellers here. Those are 10 people, and you know who you are because you came a little early. And if you happen to come now and you're like, you know what? I want to throw my name in the hat. Like, I'm just going to do it. We have room for you. Please let me know ASAP. Probably easier just to put that in the chat and I'll add your name, but do that sooner than later, please. Here's how it goes. And again, most people here know this is a 99-second story slam. So we have our storytellers and we have 2 rounds. In round 1, all the storytellers will get to tell their stories. And then there will be voting. And the voting for round 1 will be divided probably at this point into 2 sections. Usually it's more. We're playing with a little format change. In section 1, in round number 1, the first section will be 5 storytellers. They'll tell their stories. Steph from Story Jam will summarize those stories for you. Then we'll have a poll and you will vote. And the top 2 will go through to the second round. And we'll repeat that a second time. We'll have a poll and you will vote. And the top 2 will go through, which makes 4. And then Steph, our guest co-host, has a wild card vote. And she's going to put 1 more teller through, which means the second round we'll have 5 storytellers and they will vie for the crown, which includes money. Now, have there been people who said, no, Sean, you work so hard, just keep it? Yeah, that's happened, but you don't need to do that. Just take it. I'm just playing. All the storytellers have a maximum of 99 seconds, and this is more for the tellers, but just so the audience knows, when I do this or this, depends on my mood, yellow or pink, that they've been warned. Hey, you got about 20 seconds to finish up. These stories are supposed to be true and personal. They're supposed to not be told from notes. I am not going to disqualify anybody for doing those things because they're a little bit subjective, but the time is not. So the tellers know, and I hope they've practiced. And if they need to, maybe they have a clock or a watch or their phone to help them out. Because as you know, Steph, you've been here. I don't want to be the person who has to say, I'm sorry, you went over time.
Yes, I know I'm definitely not going to be that person.
That's why I was just about to say I was going to give you that role, but you don't want it.
Oh, no.
Nobody wants that role. I will take it on. And just know in advance, if that's you, we love you, we care about you, but you will still be disqualified. Okay. I don't think there's anything else I need to share, Steph. Do you think I missed anything important before we pick our first names? Hi, Reba.
No, I think it's plenty of time to start this rodeo.
Let's start it. So I'm going to pick 5 names. I'm going to say the names out loud. Remember, in the audience, you're going to have a chance to vote. But if you have a little system at home that helps you keep track, there's going to be 5 tellers this first section. Do what you got to do, whatever it is. jot something down, a color, a number. Steph will summarize, and then you'll see it in the polls, okay? I'm
Right.
just mixing this up. You all
Forget
know
to unmute yourselves, guys.
everyone's got to. So when I call your names, you will unmute, but for now, we're going to mute everybody. Steph, we're going to mute us too while the storyteller is going, all right? And I'm picking 5 names. Here we go. We have first JP. JP's in Northern California. Second, we have James Peterson. I hope he's still here. He's in Chicago. James, if you're not here, let me know. Is James still here? Steph, check if James is around.
Yeah, I don't see him right now. I know he was here though.
Barbara. Fourth, we have Jeff Stein in Chicago. And fifth, we have Linda in West Virginia. And just so you know, if James is not here, it'll be JP, Barbara, Jeff, and Linda in that order. And this round will only have 4. Actually, that's a tricky spot. We'll work it out. Cool. Somebody contact James Peterson right now. Steph Rogers, you're friends with him, yes?
Already on it.
Good. Let me mute myself and unmute JP and spotlight him. And JP, the stage. Break a leg, sir.
My mom and I were sitting outside the principal's office on 2 cafeteria chairs. And my mom asked me if I had told the principal that she had some hearing loss. And when she asked me that, I could see that she had reapplied her lipstick in the rearview mirror of the car in the parking lot. And there was some red lipstick on her front teeth. The school secretary told us to go in, and there was this long rectangular table. And at one end was the principal, at the other end was a counselor. There were 2 empty chairs in front of us, but opposite that was a police officer and my English teacher. And we sat down and everyone started talking at once. And my mom kept looking back and forth and trying to get a fix on somebody. And the counselor tried to take a hold of the meeting and use this really calm tone of voice. And that calm tone of voice seemed to piss off my English teacher even more. He wanted to press charges. This vein in his neck was sticking out as he talked. And the police officer, every time he talked, he was looking down, writing something on a form. There were these folders that had my name on them, and there were some forms sitting there. And the principal kept looking at me and saying, "There's no way you're not going to be expelled for this." When we left, my mom and I are walking to the car, and she said, "It's like they didn't know I was a lip reader. They're a bunch of jerks." And I said, "Yeah, they're a bunch of jerks." Thank you.
Boom. Thank you, Mr. JP. JP is in Oakland, California area. And I don't want to try to pronounce his last name. That's all I'm saying. It looks like a tricky last name to try to pronounce until you know it, and then it's fine. Steph, I don't know if you care to hear this. Thank you, JP, for joining us and going first. I always wanted the kind of name where it was like JP or, you know what I mean? Like JK or PG, you know, like that name. Did you ever want that?
Would you like us to call you SW from now on?
It doesn't flow.
It doesn't flow.
That's why you don't need to, you can't have 2 or 3 syllables. It has to be 1 syllable, Steph. That's a rule.
How about just S?
That's what I want you to call me moving forward.
Let's do this S.
We are gonna have somebody take that 5th spot if James doesn't join us, because if he does come back, then we have to add him to the 2nd round. The math works. There may be another name that we call who will be our 5th storyteller of section 1. I'll do that soon, I promise. And just so you all know, 1, thank you for being here. It's Halloween. And 2, during the break between round 1 and round 2, Steph has a special surprise, which includes, by the way, anybody who wants to throw their name in, and we'll do this at the break as well. You'll send your name to Steph. Not yet, you will, I'll let you know. And you could win a free spot in our upcoming 99-second workshop. It's gonna be fun. Hey, it's gonna be fun.
It starts tomorrow night.
Starts tomorrow night, runs 3 weeks. It'll be fun. You'll learn some stuff. It'll change your life dramatically. Or at
Practice.
least a little bit. Next up, she is wearing a costume, and she's a lovely human being, and we are going to spotlight her. Her name is Barbara. When you're ready, Barbara, break a leg. unmute yourself. Yep, you're good.
So, hi everybody. For the last 5 years, whenever I meditate, I wear a portable EEG headband called a Muse, which tracks my brain waves and then sends the data to a Muse app that's located on my phone. The device trains me to recognize when my brain is in that meditative state by playing lovely little bird chirps. And the app records all session data, and it keeps count on the number of days in a row, or my streak, that I've meditated. And the competitive part of me definitely finds that very motivating. Now, I've blown long streaks, and I feel the disappointment every time that counter resets to 0 because I forgot to meditate because, shit happened. Well, last Friday, shit was happening, and I forgot to meditate, breaking an epic 744-day streak. That's 2.04 years. It was my longest ever, and I was so pissed. But meditating helps me to observe and just let go of disturbing thoughts. So I focused on my breathing and let the disappointment and frustration I was feeling just be without judgment. And as I did, I grokked how meaningless and irrational this streak-keeping obsession of mine was. And my mind slowly and softly settled down into a calm state. And once clarity of mind was restored, I realized that I can change the date and time on my phone to be whatever I want it to be. And I wanted it to be Friday, October 22nd, and not Saturday, October 23rd. So, streaks unbroken. Namaste. And boom.
Thank you, Barbara. All right. We had JP starting us off. JP, I'm obsessed with location. He's up in Northern California. We believe Barbara's in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah, you had like 3 Chicago people. Yeah.
You got a lot of Chicago people. We always have Chicago people. Wow, what a great start. I appreciate that. Steph, are you still with us? Did we lose Steph Rogers?
I'm right here. Am I ever with you?
All right, just want to make sure you're checking in. We're here together. We're co-hosting. You're going to be doing the blurbs, which I have.
What am I supposed to be doing? I'm sorry. What do I do?
Stop it. Would you stop? Would you stop? All right. So what we're going to do is, because we cannot find James, is we're going to pick one more name. They're going to go in the 5th spot. Okay. And that person is Neshama. So we had JP and Barbara. It'll be followed by Jeff, Linda, and Neshama. And should James come back, he'll go in round 2 or the second section. If he doesn't, then the second section has 4 people, and there's a little advantage, but it is all arbitrary or random. I use those words synonymously. I don't think I should, but it's one of those words, either arbitrary or random. All right, Mr. Jeff Stein, back-to-back Chicagolanders. Let me find you, sir. You will unmute yourself, and whenever you're ready, take your time and break a leg.
It's Monday morning and I'm meeting with my trainer after a weekend away. I get on the scale and I've gained 7 pounds. She's not happy. What happened? I said, I had pizza. She says to me, why did I have pizza? I look her straight in the eye and I say, have you ever had pizza? It's awesome. I thought it was funny. 60 minutes later, full of suicides and burpees, I figured out she didn't. I figured I'd better get my butt in gear. So I start working out the next couple of days, but for some strange reason, it just doesn't want to come off that weight. I'm getting frustrated. And I say to myself, that's it. I'm done. You know what? I'm going to go for pizza. I don't care. And at that moment, a woman walks up to me. Her name's Georgette. She walks up to me and she says, every day on really nasty days, I think to myself, I don't want to come in. And I think about you, and you come in every day and work so hard, and I realize that I should come in. Thank you. What Georgette didn't know was that moment helped to inspire me not to have that pizza, not to do the things I was going to do. So I told her that, and she gave me a hug. Put my head down, nose to the grindstone. I didn't lose 7 pounds. I lost 8. Boom.
Thank you, Mr. Jeff Stein. Jeff, and by the way, everyone, you can be showing all kinds of love if you'd like in the chat. We will have an opportunity to unmute and talk after the slam, which we always do. It's part of the way I roll. The events just don't end. We talk a little bit if you'd like. But right now, if you want to send some 99 love to JP or Barbara or Jeff, do it in the chat, and maybe you could do it either directly to them or to everyone. Those are your options in the chat. And I do want to remind you, we are on Facebook Live. So if that freaks you out a little bit, you don't want your face to be seen, you can just go to the top right of your little photo and you can stop your video. I think that's the only thing you can do right now. But I hope you see it because your faces are beautiful. So I hope you don't do that. But I understand if you do. Steph, we've had two people from Chicago back to back. What do you think of that? What's going on? What's up? What's in the water in Chicago?
I love Chicago. I love
You're-
Chicago people. I love Chicago stories.
Steph, but can you be honest right now?
Guys better.
You're not actually in Chicago. Where are you?
I'm on the north side of Chicago.
And I'm northwest suburbs, so.
Where are you, Barbara?
And I'm 5 minutes from Steph.
Hoffman Estates, which is like Schaumburg.
So nobody here
I don't know
actually
what that
lives in
means.
Chicago. That's fine.
It's like a northwest suburbs.
Okay.
None of us are in Chicago.
None of you are actually in Chicago, but that's fine. I actually was in Chicago not long ago, and now I know for sure that you're not honest people. I thought it earlier. Now I know for sure. All right. Linda has already, she's ready to go. Mask is off. She's unmuted. I'm going to spotlight you, dear, and take your time. Break a leg.
It's been 202 years since he walked on this earth. I decided it was time to go visit his grave. So I parked at the graveyard, looked up at the hill, decided I would go up and visit. I had some things I needed to talk to him about. I hiked up and the concrete crypt had cracked open. The pillar that marked his grave had fallen and slidden down the side of the hill. I knelt down in the moss. I wanted to reach down. I wanted to connect with him and talk with him. As I did, my legs started sinking down. My knees sunk down in the dirt. I put my hand down and my hand was disappearing in the mud and the gunk and the yuck. Like, oh my God. And then I saw this face. Half of the head was blown away. It was just gone. I had encountered this person before.
Thank you, Miss Linda. I'm never sure what to call you, Linda, because your name here is different than your name on Facebook, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Linda's good.
Linda D or Linda?
Linda D, I like that.
Linda D. See that, Steph, that rolls. Linda D rolls. SW does not roll. JP rolls. PJ rolls. JK rolls. SW doesn't roll.
LD.
LD. Okay.
Mhm.
So let's,
Sounds like a lighting.
right. We have one more storyteller, and then we're gonna launch a poll. So again, hey, whatever your system is to decide who you think your favorite storyteller is. In a moment, you're gonna get to decide, and those two tellers, the top two, are gonna go through to the second round. Steph has a surprise for everybody between round 1 and round 2. Actually, I think we have 2 surprises, Steph. But if I tell them now, it won't be a surprise. So I'm zipping it.
It's a surprise to me too.
I think I already gave it away. Let's still continue to find Mr. James Peterson. I hope he's okay. And we will welcome our 5th of 5 storytellers in section 1. She too is a lovely human being. And she's out in, yes, you are. And she's out in California as well. Perhaps not that far from JP. I don't know. And her name is Neshama. And Neshama, whenever you are ready, hang on one sec. Hang on one sec for me. I need to remove spotlight. Yep. Hang on. That's better. Take your time.
So I was perched in my tree up over the path at the Renaissance Fair. I was the Green Witch. I knew I was the Green Witch. I had been witching all summer long. I had been doing spells for grown-ups, and I had been giving children these wiggly green noodles, and they'd hold out their hand, and I'd say, I have to give it to you, and I'd tuck it in their collar, in their cuffs, in their socks, in their waistband, and it was great until the heckler came along. There's always a heckler. You're not a real witch, he bellowed up at me. He was probably drunk on mead. And even though I knew I was a witch by then, it hit me like in the gut. So all I could do was turn and face my tree, embrace my tree, bury my face in the rough bark, and calm myself down, make sure there were no tear tracks in my green face. And I witched the rest of the summer, and it was great. It was over, but it's not, because I'm still the Green Witch and other people know it. I was walking along the street 15 years later. This guy came along, big guy, and he stopped me. He said, were you the Green Witch? And I said, yes, I was. And he said, when I was a kid, you gave me one of those noodles, and I was so scared I peed in my pants. Boom.
Boom it is. Thank you, Neshama. Well done, all of our first 5 of a total of 10 tellers. And I want to thank everyone for joining us, tellers and audience. It's Halloween. I know there's other things you can be doing, so I really appreciate you being here for part of your evening. Now, Steph Rogers, I have got good news. Unmute yourself. I unmuted you. Unmute. We got to talk for a second.
Lay it on me, yes.
do you know how many people went over and are disqualified?
I think 0.
Well, you would have just thrown me under the bus if you were wrong, but you're right. 0. So what I need you to do now is, in your greatest stage voice ever, give us this. You can add that element too, if you'd like. A little blurb about the story. I'll launch the poll, and our top 2 will go through, but they won't know that just yet. But we will know. All right, whenever you're ready.
All right. JP is summoned to the principal's office with his hard of hearing mother, who reads the lips of the horrible people in the principal's office. Barbara loses her zen when she breaks her Muse app meditation streak, and suddenly she cleverly changes the date on the app and therefore maintains her namaste.
Wow, you're good at this. Hello.
I'm no Mary.
Well, that's true, but you're still very good.
Jeff's trainer isn't happy about his pizza consumption, which prevents his progress until Georgette gives him a pep talk and he loses 8 pounds. And finally, Neshama dispels green noodles as the Green Witch of the Ren Fair, tree hugger who is known by all, even years later.
So we had JP, Barbara, Jeff. We had Linda between Jeff and Neshama. She was number 4, and then Neshama was 5.
Forgive me.
Sure.
Linda sees a mysterious half of a face as she sinks into a mudslide at the tip of the graveyard.
All right. I'm going to do my best. I think I have summarized your summaries well enough so that we can launch this baby, and everybody gets to vote, including the teller. So yeah, of course, you're probably going to vote for yourself. I would. The only people that don't vote are me and Steph. So let me find this and launch it. Here we go. So again, it's JP, Barbara, Jeff, Linda, and Neshama. I hope everyone can vote. Here we go. And if you can't see it for whatever reason, because it is up now, let me know. And then you can just send your winner's name to me if you cannot see the poll.
Jim Peterson keeps trying to get in, and then he disappears. He's having connection issues.
Okay. We'll put him in the second part, and hopefully he can come. And even if he goes last, I'm sure it's not some nefarious thing he's doing.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
It might be, yes. All right, we have got 3 more people that can vote. I know they might be on the toilet or out giving candy to trick-or-treaters, but it can make a difference. This is a very close, as it often is. So let's give it another 15 seconds, which would make the total voting time a minute, which I think is enough. Stefan, you can see this, right? You're not going to say anything, but you can see it.
No, but I can see that there's a tie for first position.
And we have the top two going through, so it works out well. Those will be the two going through. Don't say it yet. We don't want to ruin the surprise. I'm going to end the poll. And Steph, you're going to put one person through as well. So you're just keeping track of that.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Section 1 is done of round 1 on season 5, slam number 2, Halloween. Here we go. We have 26 human beings who have joined us here. Snap, snap, snap. Steph, do you want to ask a question?
Yes.
Okay. To me?
Yes. Why is Halloween? Why has it become so commercial?
I love that you just yes-anded me so well. I just asked you. That's so great. Yeah, no, that's a question we should all think about. Why has Halloween become so? Maybe ask a question back and then we could talk about this in the post show. Why has almost everything become so commercial? All right, here we go. You know what I mean?
Yes.
By the way, this show is being sponsored by Coca-Cola, Nissan, and okay, here we go. Couldn't resist. My timing could have been worse, I have to say. It wasn't bad. All right, we only have 5 so we have a total of 10 tellers tonight. 2 of them that won section 1 are going to go through to the second round. 2 of them are going to win. 2 people will win or be the top 2 voters for section 2, and we're going to announce the order in just a moment. Then we're going to have a break, do little surprises, come back and have round 2. I hope everyone can stay for that. And you'll be out before 8:30. Here we go. I'm just going to mix these up. And this is going to be the order of round 2. Here we go. And it's going to be Francesca, section 2. I apologize. James, if he's here, you know what? James is going to be the automatic last one because I don't think he's going to be here. Jim K. Francesca's one.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I am here.
All right. If you're here, I want you to go ASAP. So you'll go second so we don't lose you. And if you do.
Okay. I'm trying to start my video and it doesn't appear to be.
All right. So 2 things. 1, if you get cut out, you could still come back and tell your story. And 2, if you don't have a video, I trust you and you're fine and you'll do the best you can, but that's okay. Okay.
Okay.
Jim is 3. Jamie B is 4 and Angela is 5. Angela, man, it's so interesting. Angela, it's not the first time she's gone last. And again, if for whatever reason, if James Peterson cuts out because he's had some tech problems, everyone will move up 1 spot and we'll try to get James in at the end. That seems fair, right, Steph?
I guess.
Okay, thanks for having my back. Mary would have never said what you just said. All right, James, for the moment, I'm going to mute you. Stay with us. But for now, welcome to the stage. She's from Chicago, but she's not actually in Chicago because she's constantly traveling and she's a jet setter. Her name is Francesca, and another difficult last name I don't want to try to pronounce.
Sobrer.
Francesca.
Sobrer.
Am I unmuted?
You're good.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it was telling me 3 different things. Okay. My 3 children are home for a long weekend. They're here because our time as a family is coming to a certain close. My husband, Pep, is dying of colon cancer. My son, Rylan, suggests we smoke a joint as a kind of rainy fall Saturday afternoon activity. I stare at my son. What kind of responsible mother smokes pot with her kids, even if they are young adults? I think of all the anti-drug posters hanging in every classroom in the high school where I teach. The principals and teachers are, I'm sorry, I have to stop only because something has gone horribly wrong with my screen. And I don't
No,
know.
it's not you. Thomas Fleming, you are sharing your screen accidentally with us. So can you unshare? There we are.
All right, sorry about that. Should I just start off at the beginning?
Yes, please.
All right, I'm very sorry. Okay.
All right, I thought I was unmuted. Don't apologize.
Okay.
Obviously, no one share their screen. That's a settings issue on my end. Can you want to start again? I think that'd be the best thing, obviously.
All right,
Sure.
sorry.
And take your time. Take your time.
My 3 children are home for a long weekend. They're here because our time together as a family is coming to a certain close. My husband, Pep, is dying of colon cancer. My son, Rylan, suggests we smoke a joint as a kind of rainy fall Saturday afternoon activity. I stare at my son. What kind of responsible mother smokes pot with her kids, even if they are young adults? I think of all the anti-drug posters on display in every classroom in the high school where I teach. The principals and coaches are staring at the camera, daring the viewer to just fuck with me. Not in our house, is stamped in bold letters across the bottom of the poster. I wonder what my colleagues would think if they knew of the stash of pot I keep in my bedside drawer. Since Pep was diagnosed, pot has been an escape valve. Have a hit and let's forget. But to smoke pot with my kids? My husband shrugs his shoulders and says, why not? Fuck it, I've got cancer. So instead of passing plates of food, we sit around the kitchen table and pass a joint. Someone brings out the game of taboo. I chuckle at the irony, and because we're so stoned, I laugh so hard I don't remember, but I do remember the sound of our laughter as we laughed and guffawed and whooped all our worries away. Hell yes, in my house. Boom.
Boom it is. Thank you, Francesca. Appreciate you dealing with that moment as well as you could. I apologize for that. As a pro, she's good. She handles this stuff. She's a pro.
Beyond belief, yes.
So it goes without saying, don't share your screen, right? Just don't do that. No, and don't unmute, only because it makes it a little bit trickier for the storytellers. We want to keep things as fair, level playing field. So yeah, and the reason is it's not just about the glory of winning, and it's not just about the money. Those people who have had success here at the 99-second slam have gone on to do some incredible things in the world. We have launched careers. We have made people essentially who they are today. They'd be nobody without us. We've launched entire empires. And so when you affect the story, you might be really impacting someone's future and fucking up an entire legacy. No pressure. Okay. I like when you, Steph, Mary laughs a little bit more at my jokes.
I'm laughing, but it's mostly in here.
Okay.
I'm laughing. I was just muted, so you missed the laughter. I'm very sorry.
Mary's a little bit better for my ego, but I appreciate your honesty. Okay. James Peterson in Chicago. There's a lot of Chicago folks here. We're going to unmute you. And whenever you're ready, you will do your best to tell your story, even with your tech issues. You are muted. So first unmute. You in the tech stuff today, Peterson.
Yeah, it's been a horrible day. Didn't I unmute myself? Can you hear me?
You're good. You're good. Yep.
Okay. I'll get this out of my face. I recognized him immediately. The yellow skin, the wax-like jowls, the pouty mouth, yellow hair, and the little Tyrannosaurus Rex hands. Donald Trump was standing in my doorway. It was Halloween. I've lived alone for 10 years. I'm an empty nester. I love Halloween. It's a chance to do like a pop culture census to see what superheroes are in vogue, what Disney princess is the most beautiful, sports heroes, villains, monsters. Right in front of me, Donald Trump. I try to figure out, did the boy who chose this costume know that it would terrify the neighborhood? I live in Northwest Evanston. It's reliably Democrat. Or was Trump his hero? I offered him candy and the tiny hands took out a double fistful, which I guess answers my question. He left, the next group of kids came up. I looked in my bowl, I said, I'm sorry, I'm almost out of candy, just take one. And then something amazing happened. A boy reached into the thing, reached into his bag of candy, took out a piece of candy, and put it in my bowl. I thought there might be hope.
And when he snaps, no booming, no thank you, just a snap from Peterson in Northwest Evanston. I think Steph taught him everything he knows.
No, it was between the two of you.
No, you taught us more than we taught you. I know that for sure. Cool. Story number 2. First was Francesca. She's actually in Louisville right now. And Steph, just let me share something with you. Okay. Please listen here. 2 things. 1, if you go to Louisville, you don't say Louisville. That's embarrassing for everybody, and it'll fuck up our entire brand. What I need you to do is just go Louisville. Try it right now. Good. 2, something I learned tonight. I've been testing different red wines. Cabernet Sauvignon, Malbec, what's the other one? Merlot and Pinot Noir. Tonight's Pinot Noir. All of them are the same brand. They're all very cheap boxed wine. Pinot Noir is my least favorite. Just that's a random comment.
That's great to know.
Yeah, let's move on. Okay, tough crowd, tough co-host. Next up.
I'm no Mary.
Jim Kissane is Jim in Tampa, Florida, has already unmuted. I'm going to spotlight you, Jim. And like I said to everyone else, take your time and break a leg, sir.
In the 1950s, at this time of year, us kids were out looking to find terrifying things. We feared witches and goblins, the thing underneath the bed, the horrible creatures of gigantic proportions, and of course, the dark. Most of my friends looked for thrills by exploring nearby caves or abandoned houses, but my buddy Tom and I found these things right beneath our feet, and all we had to do was pry off any manhole cover marked storm drain, and then climb down a set of rungs into the dark and spooky abyss 15, 20 feet below. There, only with the illumination of our trusty, ever-ready flashlight, we could sense that we were not alone in these dark and forbidden concrete tunnels. And we'd run, sometimes face first, into cobwebs full of big brown hairy spiders. And we'd come across monster river rats, some of them the size of a dog, and stepped on snakes that had come up from the rivers and streams at the end of these tunnels. And the dark, knowing full well that if we dropped our flashlight or the batteries went dead, we were done for. But as luck would have it, we always made it back to the surface alive. But the other kids would never know the horrors and the terrors that we had experienced because we would never tell them. Boom.
Thank you, Jim in Tampa, Florida. You will hear some of our storytellers say boom after their stories. That is by no means a requirement. That's just something to let us know. But you can say other things or nothing, because usually we know when the story is over, right, Steph? Because that's what good stories do. We're like, oh, yep, it's over. Right?
They do.
That's what good storytellers do, among other things. And by the way, if you haven't tried this one, we've got a workshop starting tomorrow. It's sponsored by GMC, Nissan, and Doritos. No, I'm just kidding. Do we have any sponsors for our workshop?
We don't have a single sponsor. However.
Wait, Grit and Story Jam are like, we're a big enough brand now. When we collaborate together, we're like a sponsor, you and me, right?
We're a power team.
Without making money. Losing money sponsor.
We are giving away a spot for our big workshop. It's a 3-week workshop where you practice 99s. We'll tell you more about that later. Back to you, Sean.
Oh, beautiful, Steph. Oh my God. You might have just surpassed Mary. I'm not going to say that publicly, but I just kind of did.
I'm no Mary.
You're no Mary, but she's no you. And yeah. By the way, you can put your love into the chat for the tellers because they need it. This is vulnerability here sometimes, Steph. People need to hear good things.
Can I just say I love all the stories?
Yeah.
From tonight.
Yeah, even tonight we have typically we have a few more storytellers, but it's just as good and just as competitive.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
It's always very interesting.
Very
JP has a quick question, which we'll talk about between round 1 and 2, which was how much to sponsor. Steph, call your lawyer now. All right, let's move on to Jamie.
I'd say $10. What do you say, Sean?
A lot more. Jamie Brickhouse has been waiting patiently. Let me spotlight him. And Jamie, break a leg.
Thank you. When my doctor tells me that I'm HIV positive over the phone, he says, but Jamie, these days it's a manageable condition like diabetes. He says it in this upbeat jocular tone as if I just won the lottery, only it's the lottery in that famous Shirley Jackson story where the winner gets stoned to death. Now, this was 2002 when AIDS was no longer a death sentence, but still scary. And it was still weighed down by the shame and stigma of how you got it and who got it, which is too bad because sex for me had always been invigorating, life-affirming, validating. And I discovered at an early age, I need a lot of validation. So after that phone call, I headed straight to my gay bar to drown my sorrows. And I downed 1, 2, 3 martinis in quick succession. And then the stranger said to me, what's wrong? And the dam burst. In a flood of tears, I told this nameless, faceless stranger that I'm HIV positive, that my life is over, that no one will want to have sex with me again. He said that wasn't true. And to prove it, he took me around the corner and had sex with me. I understood what Blanche Dubois meant about always depending upon the kindness of strangers. I never saw that man again, but I'm forever grateful to him for having sex with me because by doing that, he told me I was going to be okay. He validated me. Boom.
Boom to the boom, boom. Jamie Brickhouse. I think he's in New York. He's a New Yorker. He's not actually.
I am. Yes,
originally down in Texas, but he's been a New Yorker for long enough that he is a New Yorker. As a New Yorker, there's a point in which someone becomes a New Yorker. Some people say it's an X certain amount of years. I don't think that's the right metric. There's just a combination of things. There's no real end to my point here, which is why I'm a very mediocre storyteller because I don't know how to end shit. All right. Moving forward here, let's keep going, Steph. Do not laugh at my expense. Mary would never do that. Final storyteller of round 1. She always seems to get the last spot. It is bizarre. She's not paid me any money. It just works out that way. It's in the cards for Angela in Western Mass to be our final storyteller of round 1, section 2. Break a leg, take your time.
Yeah, I think it's the 3rd or 4th time, Sean.
And she's got like a Halloween purple lens filter. She's trying to. Okay, have fun, Angela.
All right. It's 1990, and I'm in the driver's seat of a 15-passenger van. I'm stage managing a tour about Jackie Robinson. And there's 6 of us. There's the guy who plays Satchel Paige, the actors who play Jackie and his wife. There's Tall George, he plays the owner of the team. And then there's Blonde George, he plays one of the coaches, and me. And we've just finished lunch at a roadside cafe in Mississippi. As we're piling back in the van, Tall George says, you know, I think that people can tell that we have an air of glamour about us. I mean, they look at us and I think they can tell we're from New York. Tall George says stuff like that all the time. A few weeks later, we're in Detroit and the presenter at the theater has invited us to dinner at his favorite Chinese restaurant across the border in Windsor, Canada. We pull up to the customs booth and the agent looks inside the van and he says, what's your business in Canada? And I say, we're going to dinner. And he says, do you have any weapons? No. And then he leans in and he looks in the van and he looks at Roderick and Michael David, the men who play Satchel Paige and Jackie Robinson. And he says, do you have any weapons? And they say no. And then he asks those men again, and the 2 Black men who play baseball heroes say no. And then he says, welcome to Canada, and waves us in, and we say nothing. And it's not because we have an air of glamour. that sometimes people stare at us. That's not it at all. Thank you.
All right, Steph and Angela and everybody else. I have one announcement, Steph, and this one's not as good. Angela went over and she knows it.
Oh,
Loved your story.
so close
We
and
have-
yet so far.
We have a built-in, we don't talk about it. Like sometimes we have a few second cushion, but we don't tell the tellers because it is what it is. Sometimes we'll build in a few, but you were over enough. So despite your purple sepia, Angela's not going to be in the poll. All right. So we're going to have, so what we're going to do now is, Angela, you know how much I hate doing that, right? Yeah. Francesca, James, Jim, and Jamie. Ms. Steph Rogers from Story Jam in Chicago, would you summarize for us so we can launch this poll?
Yeah. I mean, Mary would have given it to Angela, but she's not here. So
Sorry.
it's just not the same without Mary.
Okay, we got it.
Francesca's hubby Pep gives his blessing for the family to get high together as he is sadly dying from cancer. Jim Peterson is perplexed to see Donald Trump at his front door, who takes 2 fistfuls of candy, of course. Jim K. Caves, houses, storm drains, rungs, spooky abysses, cobwebs, river rats. That's it.
Okay.
Jamie. In 2018, Jamie discovers he's HIV positive, but he is certainly not devoid of depending upon the kindness of strangers. Angela's
not in it. You want to? Oh, wow, Steph. That is awful. I know you're friends with Angela, so you can get away with that. Woo! Inside joke. Here we go. You know we love you, Angela.
Sorry. Not my fault.
But can you do that again, that sound that you just did? All right, round 1, section 2, we got Francesca, James, Jim, and Jamie. I hope I did a good job summarizing, but you've heard the story, heard Steph, and now this. Everyone vote, please. Actually, there's a choice 5, which is my mistake. So please, no one do that. Sorry. I'm not trying to rub it in, Angela. All right, all right, all right. I think I got some. Oh, this is going to be close. Everyone needs to vote. All right. Wow. All right, one more minute. Yeah, it is a tough choice. Richard said tough choice. I agree. All right. Everyone's voted. Let's end it. All right, Steph, you've seen that, right?
I saw that.
All right, I'm going to message you, Steph, so we can talk about the person that you want to put through. And now's the time in the show in which I should check if I have eggs on my door, because you said I should do that.
You should.
I should remove Angela's spotlight. And you would think I would have learned some basic tech stuff by now. I've been doing this for long enough. Now, Steph, we have 2 ways we can take this break. This is also obviously a good time for people to just go relieve themselves and get another drink. If you're going to get another drink, I suggest you don't drink Pinot Noir because 1, it's hard to pronounce, and 2, it's not very good. Do you want to talk interview or you want to talk? Let's start with the send your name to you type thing, and you can do that wheel thing for the workshop. Would you do that? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So we're giving away a spot in our 3-week workshop. It's on Monday nights from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Starting tomorrow, Sean and I are actually leading a really fun 99 workshop. And that just means you're going to practice. Everybody in the room already knows how to do it, but we're practicing, and we're having a blast doing it, learning maybe possibly a few new techniques.
Sure.
So we do have a couple spots open. So if you don't win one, you could always get one. And we at Story Jam and Grit always invite people to join us regardless of their financial situation. So if you would like a special consideration, payment plan, whatnot, you are very, very welcome to request so.
Yes. And somebody's getting a spot for free.
And
Who's
one
here?
of these lucky people gets a spot for free. And if they don't want it, we will not be hurt.
No,
just
if
give it-
nobody wants it, then I would be a little hurt. But okay, I've dealt with harder things in life. And by the way, even if you're like a 99 stud, it's just still a good time to practice. And maybe you'll just come up with a new story that's fun that you could do here or elsewhere. And if you're newer to storytelling or to this kind of storytelling, then maybe, yeah, you'll learn a few things. And I won't be drinking Pinot Noir at that workshop. I can promise you that. So it'll be a little bit sort of smoother.
Thank God.
It's going to be, Steph, what time is it? It's the next 3 Mondays and it starts at 6 Central.
Oh, I'm sorry, 6:30 Central. That's right, Central Time. A lot of these folks are East Coasters. Erica's on the West Coast. So you'll have to do the math. Don't rely on me. I'm no Mary. Does Mary do math?
Mary's very good at almost everything.
She probably does math too, I bet you.
So that is the deal. So how do you want people to move forward with this right now, Steph? If they want to put their name into the hat and we're going to choose one name, should they just send you their name right now here in the chat?
Yeah, if they could just say, put in the chat me, M-E, you just want to be considered for our game. This is a game. I've gotten a lot of messages.
Yeah. Let's do this. So first we want to just make sure we have our winner for the workshop. Now, I do also want to say, I'll make sure we'll probably announce it after because there might be people who are not watching this right now in this moment. And I want to make sure if they know about it, they can put their name in. Is that cool?
Absolutely.
Just collect the names.
Collecting.
Collect the names.
You don't really have to do it directly to me. You can just put your name in, yeah.
Whatever's easier for you. And I should say that several people, Steph, have said that you are great. And I agree.
Oh.
You're great. Nobody's Mary and nobody's Steph. And that's all good.
Mary is pretty amazing. I know.
She's a witch and it's Halloween and she does witchy things on Halloween.
She's super busy. This is her big night.
This might be the biggest night of the year.
Yeah.
What's the biggest night of the year for you?
For me?
Yeah.
My birthday?
Okay. Good answer.
That's not really true. I don't have a biggest night. Who has a biggest night? Nobody.
Really good TV we're making here. Can you send your name to Steph? She actually doesn't want you to send your name. She wants you to put me. Okay.
Yeah, it's just easier to see, shorter.
And Steph, are you going to do that cute little wheel that you do?
I sure can.
All right. That might be a fun way so that we'll hit the thing. It'll go around. It'll come up on a name and you'll join us for the next 3 Monday nights.
And Sean, I think that I've picked a person to go through to the next round, but I was picking from the first cluster.
No. You're picking one person from both.
Overall.
Both. Don't say name yet. This is a big reveal.
Okay. Then I'm gonna,
Up. You're gonna send that to me. All right, great, cool. And do we want to take this time now to announce the people that are going through? And you want to talk to those that aren't going through? You said that you wanted to talk to some of them. Is that what you want to do? Now, of course, you understand, Steph, that once they hear they're not going through, they might be upset and angry and feel like they don't want to talk to you. Because that's how people can be sometimes when they don't win things. Not me. I'm not competitive. You know that.
So if they don't want to talk, they don't want to talk, but we'd love it if they would.
I hope they do. You see what the Pinot Noir is doing? I'm edgy. I'm a little angry. I'm cranky.
I thought you were just like that normally.
Nicely done. Very good. I love that. All right. So we're going to call 5 names and in about 10 or so minutes, we'll start our second round and we'll have a winner. The people I don't call, please hang out. We want you to hear the stories. We want you to vote. And we're doing something a little different. Steph wants to ask you a couple questions about your life, about story. Right, Steph?
Yeah, please.
You're very good at that.
No.
All right. So the 5 names that are going through in no particular order are Jeff Stein, going back in the hat, Barbara P, Jamie B, Francesca S, and James P. If your name was not called, Steph and I and everyone else loves you, legit. And I don't love a lot of people, including myself. So, but that's another conversation, right, Steph? Yeah.
guess.
Francesca's like, dude, TMI, babe, relax. This isn't the right audience. Just chill. So, Steph, would you please, Angela, Jim, Neshama, JP, and Linda, I hope you're available. Steph would like to have a little chat with you, share with us about your lives a little bit, your story lives. Is that cool, Steph?
Absolutely. Are you ready? This
Only
is a
getting
game.
you're only getting a minute per storyteller, max.
Oh, that's brutal.
99 seconds, absolute max, because we have to
Okay.
get on with that theme.
Let's get the person who wants to be first, and then we'll explain how it goes.
Great. I think JP just volunteered.
JP, did you volunteer?
He's like,
Excellent. So you unmute yourself. We're going to spotlight you. And here's what we're doing. We are going to pummel you, not with rocks or stones, but with questions.
all right,
Because
we're gonna-
you are an interesting person and you are a storyteller and we want to hear more about you. And if you all remember JP's story, it was about going to the principal's office. Remember, there was a police officer, a mom, lots of stuff. So I want to see if people would be so kind as to put questions in the chat that we pummel at JP for 1 whole minute and you just answer them. And you kind of, if you don't mind, it would be helpful if you're willing to answer them. Let's go.
That was, by the way, over a minute, just that.
All right, JP, are you ready? I'm going to ask questions, and if other people have questions, Sean's going to read them, and he's going to ask those, okay?
All right.
Let's
I
do
love
this.
this.
1 minute on the clock. Sean,
Yeah.
you got, okay, you ready?
I got the clock. Well, no, we're going to give you 99 seconds. 99 seconds. Here we go, and go.
What bad thing did you do?
I spread a rumor that I killed somebody and I didn't kill anybody.
Were you a bad kid?
I was reacting to authority in the proper way for somebody who went through my life.
How long?
So
did you-
yes, I was a badass kid.
Did you get expelled?
Yes.
What's your favorite color?
Red, no blue.
Red, no, what?
Red, no blue.
Had you told them your mother couldn't hear?
No.
What's your favorite food?
Soup.
Do you have any kids?
Love this.
I have 2.
What do you do for work?
I don't do anything I don't want to do for work anymore the rest of my life.
What's your hobby?
Probably storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Dorothy Hamill.
How much more time on the clock?
You still have 40 seconds. I love this. This is my favorite thing ever. Go, go, go.
Who is your wife?
My wife is Amy Frary. She's a 6th grade teacher, and she's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Why does she love you so much?
Wow.
I don't know that she does.
Good.
Do you have a dog or a cat?
I have a dog.
Do you have a favorite movie?
Time Bandits.
Do you have a bike?
10 seconds.
I have 7 bikes.
Bikes that you like, motorbikes or
No, bicycles.
Bicycles. Oh,
Scene.
so you're bike cycling.
And scene. We're done. Okay.
Oh,
No, that was great. Here we go. Let's keep it moving. Angela, you ready?
it goes faster than you think. Damn.
Angela's ready. Go, Steph. Go. You're so good at this. This is
Wait.
great.
Angela, we're doing Angela. Are you ready, Angela?
You bet.
All right, Angela, what's your favorite book?
I Love of Mice and Men.
Do you speak any other languages besides English?
No.
What do you do for work?
I'm the marketing and development director of a theater.
Do you have nice parents?
Oh, damn.
Ooh.
One.
Ooh.
Do you like to dance?
Yes, I do. And I used to run a dance company.
I got to. Why do you live in Northampton? Why Northampton?
Because I got divorced and I had to go somewhere. Dude, this is hard.
Favorite musical? I'm reading from the chat. Favorite musical?
Favorite
Go.
musical? Oh, Pippin.
What theater do you work for?
It's called Chester Theater
Why do they call it Chester Theater?
because we're in Chester.
Do
Fine.
you
Steph,
have any
go.
animals? Do you have any animals?
I have 2 cats. There are Phineas and Phoenix.
What's your favorite holiday?
Halloween.
Is your hair naturally curly?
It is now.
Do you live your life in sepia?
In Seppi, no. Not generally.
What do you do for fun? Do you have any hobbies?
I'm storytelling and knitting.
Did you ever have an imaginary friend?
No.
Are you lying?
No.
Where
Do you
is
like
he?
Halloween?
I love Halloween.
So bad at this.
Do you eat candy?
Not much.
What's your favorite food?
Raw oysters.
Do you like
Do you like?
pumpkin,
Oh,
you like
sorry.
pumpkin pie?
You watch.
Yeah, I do.
Have you ever had your heart broken?
Oh, yeah.
You know how I am, Steph. You know how I roll.
Why did they have so many clothes for a 3-hour tour?
Really good question.
And scene. Good. Here we go. That's the perfect way to end this. Jim K, are you ready in Tampa? Jim's like, what the hell is this?
He doesn't want to do
You've
this.
never done this, Jim. Steph's gonna be gentle with you because you're like new to this ecosystem, but I'm sure you can handle it. Go, Steph, go.
Jim, what do you do in Florida? What
What
did
do
you
I
do in Florida?
I'm retired.
What did you do before that?
I ran a technology business.
What's your best trait?
My humility.
Are you a Mensa member?
No,
Do you wish you were?
no.
Where do you go for fun?
I chase skaters.
That's nice.
Are you a benevolent gator chaser?
No, I'm not that benevolent.
Have you ever served in any wars?
Yes,
Wow.
Which one?
Vietnam. I blew stuff up.
Do you go to church?
Not yet.
Have you ever been in jail?
Not yet.
I'm just reading from the chat, Steph. I'm not making this up.
Do you have a favorite love? Do you have a love of your life?
Oh, yeah. 38 years together. We haven't had our first fight.
Have you ever broken someone's heart?
Yes.
Many times?
No.
Do you still hang out in storm drains?
No.
Do you still blow stuff up?
Not anymore.
Have you ever worn contact lenses?
Tried.
Do you have a cool car?
Did.
I love these one syllable answers.
What kind of car was it?
560 SL convertible.
And scene. Done. Great, Jim. This is going to replace the slam entirely. This is going to be an show. We've got two more, and then we're going to, just so if you're not here, we got two more, whatever this is called. Then we're going to pick one name at a time, a little different than round one name at a time.
Why don't
You're
we
not
do the
gonna
other
know
two
that.
later?
You don't get to know in advance in round two when you're going. You got to be here. You got to be ready. And then at the end of round two, when we announce our champ, then Steph will have all the names that she's going to pick for our one person this evening who's going to get a free spot in our workshop starting tomorrow. All right, let's do
the other two later, maybe.
All right, Linda and Neshama, are you going to hang out?
You gonna hang out?
Good. You're going to go later. That was awesome. Steph, what a gift you have.
It's a fun game that we play in our classes at Story Jam Studio.
Okay. Sponsored by who, and who is that sponsored by?
Sponsored by Story Jam.
And not JP, because he's not forking over the money.
We'll talk later, JP.
Yeah, JP. Come on, baby. Come on. Here we go. If you want to get your name in front of an audience of like 6 or 7 people, you want to just roll with us. Big time, baby. All right, so one name at a time. That's how we do round two. The stakes have been raised. Season 5, slam number 2. And the winner gets $99 US. Okay? Legit.
Ooh.
If you're in Canada, I'll probably screw you a little bit. Because it's a whole thing I don't get. I just don't understand it. I don't think anyone here is in Canada, though. It's fine.
It's conversion.
Or Texas. But no, but Jamie's from Texas, so it's fine. All right. Steph, say stop. Steph, say stop.
I'm gonna.
All right, fine.
Stop.
I don't want anybody to think that I'm like doing anything nefarious or weird. All right, number 1. Francesca. Nobody share your screen. Take your time, Francesca. Let me spotlight you. Here we go. Break a leg.
The summer of 2015, I'm in New York City when on the subway it hits me. My husband is dead. He died 6 months before, but grief isn't linear. I start to sob, and then I become aware of something completely different. I am incredibly horny. I swear I emanate a kind of feral smell. When I'm not crying to, from, or in between, I'm eyeing fire hydrants. I have a day of not one tear. Donna Summer's I Will Survive hums in my head. I hop into an empty taxi and with wild abandon, I say to the driver, "Can you take me?" The driver, he has unbelievable blue eyes, looks at me and says, "Yeah, I can take you." In spite of my total unreliability of what I might do naked, break out into hysterical laughter or choked sobs. I'm thinking about it. And this guy, he can smell my desire, and he begins to tell me in exacting detail just how he would go down. Yes, okay, no, I mean, shit, Jesus. And now I understand the purpose of safe word, because all that will come out of my mouth is sexual innuendo. I struggle for an adult sentence. I'll get out at the next corner, please. You sure, baby? How about if I give you my number in case you change your mind? Yeah, okay, what's your name? Rod? 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 I get out of the cab, and for the first time in a long time, rather than cry, I laugh all the way home. Boom.
Thank you, Francesca. Bringing it in round 2. Slam 2, season 5 stuff. Can't say that enough. When we started in August, who would have thought, not this August, last August.
Yes. Who would have thought we would hear stories like
How
that?
are we not a Netflix special at this point? How is that not possible? I've seen shit on there that is awful.
Yeah.
Sure. I have to clean things up a little bit, maybe take the hat off, figure out some basic grammar in the English language. I get it. Sure. Okay.
Not be on Zoom.
Zoom is probably not the best platform for Netflix. This is true. Let me remove Francesca's spotlight. Francesca was the first of our 5 second rounders here. Yeah, good stuff. All right. Same rules apply, right? We want true, we want personal, we want no notes. And of course, if the tellers go over, we got to DQ them, and we don't want to do that. Next up, Jeff Stein. Jeff, there he is. Jeff, I'm going to spotlight you. You unmute yourself. Take your time. Break a leg.
I'm a freshman in college, and I've decided that I'm going to go out for the radio station management, get dressed up in my nicest suit, create a whole bunch of paperwork to show them plans and ideas that I have. I give this presentation, I hand them all out, and now it's the question and answer time. And the vice president of the university has the first question. He says, "What's it like to be the only Jewish student living on campus?" I was the only Jewish student living on campus, a campus of 3,000 at a Methodist university. Somehow I get through the answer, and yet when it's over, all I can think about is, did anybody else get asked that? I don't end up getting the position, and I have to think to myself, is it because I'm Jewish? I go to the general manager, I talk to him, he says, "You should talk to the vice president of the university." And I would have, if I hadn't gotten into a car accident the next day and broke my leg in 3 places. I didn't get a chance to speak out at that moment, but it became very, very clear that in the future, I needed to be able to speak out whenever possible, especially against anti-Semitism, for exactly that reason. And I learned it as a freshman in college at the University of Minneapolis. Boom.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Steph, when I hear these round 2 stories, I think to myself, and excuse my French, even though I am drinking Pinot Noir, we are not fucking around on round 2.
Right.
Am I right? We're just not. The other thing I think about is we don't need to be on Netflix. It could be another streaming service. It could be Hulu.
Yeah.
It could be Amazon. I don't
There's
know.
some that you've never even heard of, like Tubi and
Sure,
Telly.
there's other smaller ones. There's HBO. I think we can all agree. Maybe Netflix is the granddaddy at this point. Is it not?
Who knows?
Who knows? Who the hell knows? We're all doing the best we can. Some of us are wearing sunglasses on our forehead. Some are not. What do you want me to tell you? You want to go with number 3? What's that?
I think PBS would reject.
Yeah, no, I agree. They would love
They
my
would
mouth,
reject.
but they
No,
would
they
love
don't.
they would love my potty mouth on PBS.
Yeah, they
Listen, after we announce the winner, then we're going to talk a little bit to. We're going to do that. Neshama and Barbara, it's Neshama and Linda. I really still need to hear Steph's whatever that is called, whatever that 99 interrogation thing is. We got to keep that going. Then we're going to announce our winner for not only the slam, but the person who's going to be in our workshop. If there's people who are interested. Ready? Number 3, originally from Texas, but he is a New Yorker, Jamie Brickhouse.
So I'm down in Texas at my father's funeral, and I'm nervous as a whore in church because my older brother, Ronnie, half brother, is about to speak, and you just never knew what was going to come out of Ronnie's mouth. Earlier that day at the viewing of the body, he said, now that Bubba is up there in heaven, my father wasn't his father. His father died when he was a toddler. And my father was the only father he ever knew. And he said, now that Bubba's up there in heaven, he and my father are going to take turns with mama. Do you know what swingers are? Yeah. Well, my father and your father are going to swing. They don't call it heaven for nothing. Now, do you see why I'm nervous? So Ronnie takes to the podium and he says, now that Bubba is up there in heaven, the first person to welcome him is going to be, I said, don't, Ronnie, my father, and he's going to don't thank him for marrying my mama and taking care of me and giving me a beautiful baby brother. And personally, I'd like to thank the man for all he's done for me and for always being a father to me. And the way I see it, he just got promoted from earth up to heaven. And I pray that Bubba has heard all of this before he starts swinging. Boom.
Thank you, Mr. Brickhouse. Steph, yet another fantastic slam with very talented storytellers who, by the way, they came with 2 stories this evening, all of them. And Steph, these stories, they're not easy. One might think 99, oh, that's shorter, it's just easier, but I don't think that's the case. Do you?
I think it's harder. And you may have noticed a trend in that these second round stories they have a lot more gravitas.
You think that's an intentional thing? Second round gravitas?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Just
We
wondering.
can ask them afterwards. Remember, afterwards, we are trying to announce a winner for the slam, announce a winner for the free workshop spot, and maybe, depending on Steph's mood, because you can tell with her, I mean, honestly, the Linda and Neshama interrogation, which I love. And you're very gifted at that. And you have great teeth. Next up,
Thank you.
James Peterson. He's put a hat on. He's still in the Chicagoland area.
Let's go, Chicago.
Steph, no favorites. Here we go. James, unmute yourself.
I'm 15 years old, and I'm allowed to take the train from Connecticut into New York City alone or with my friend Charlie. It was a different time. And we would go in, and to get to like a Yankees game or the World's Fair, you would get off at 125th Street, the heart of Harlem. We were walking down the street, and we came to a movie theater. And there were a bunch of old men sitting on crates, drinking. And there were 2 kids our age having a fight. The bigger kid was pistol whipping the smaller kid with what I assumed was a toy pistol. The smaller kid rolled away and grabbed a Coke bottle, and everything stopped. In those days, Coke bottles were green glass. And the kid, we knew what happened next. We had seen it in movies. And the kid took the bottle and swung it against the side of the brick building, and nothing happened. He did it again, and nothing happened. The men started laughing. The other kids started laughing. And so the small boy stood back and hurled the Coke bottle through the marquee. And there was a shower of white glass and black letters bouncing off the sidewalk. He looked at me and he ran. And I realized movies aren't real. This is real.
Thank you, Mr. James Peterson. James Peterson has made a very intentional choice to snap at the end of his stories.
I love the snap.
We do?
It's so Chicago.
Do not show any favorites, Steph. That's not what we do. We do
I
never,
love
ever show favorites to anybody.
No.
Everybody has an equal chance of winning. We don't talk about the stories that might have any sort of undue influence on the audience.
No. I
But
love
the snap
Jamie.
is kind of cool. Snap is
Jeff.
cool. I admire the snap.
The snap is so cool.
So you've done a great job this evening of helping me out and doing the summaries, among other things, and the interrogation. I hope you feel good about that because it's been great.
Thank you. And you've done a nice job yourself.
Not my best, but it's okay. Thanks.
You're doing wonderfully.
Appreciate it. Do you like my outfit, my costume?
Not really.
Okay. Thank you. That's awesome. Your timing is very good. All right. Last and of course not least, and she's been expecting this because she knows she's in round 2 and I haven't called her name yet. Ms. Barbara Peterson. And where is Barbara? There she is. And she's in her costume, which is great. I'm going to spotlight it. And then remember, of course, after this, if everyone's under time, Steph will summarize and we'll have one final vote. Break a leg, Ms. Peterson.
Okay. I have my first acting gig when I'm 7 years old. It was a small but pivotal role as a member of Prince Charming's court in the St. Andrew Lutheran School's second grade production of Cinderella. The school didn't buy a glass slipper for the play, so my character's expertise is called on as to whether the cloak Cinderella dropped in her rush to be home before midnight fits the last of the wicked stepsisters. Well, my one but crucial line occurs towards the end, and I step up. I plant my feet, and pointing at the charlatan trying to squeeze into the cloak and fool His Royal Highness, I passionately cry out, "It's too small. She's too fat." Well, surprised and amused by the sight of a tiny girl chewing the scenery, a wave of laughter just rolls out of the up to now silent audience, and I'm so startled that I make the amateur mistake and break the fourth wall and stare at them with a fawn in the headlights look, and confused as to why they laughed, and that provokes a bigger second laugh after that. Well, after the play, I'm outside sitting in my mother's arms, and she assures me I did really, really well. And 2 older women, I call them Bushas and Babushkas, approach me and give me money, 1 a quarter, 1 a nickel, and tell me I'm a natural actress and I should keep to it, and one day I'll be a star. And I'm surprised and flattered, but discover 30 cents can't compete with the look of loving pride shining out from my mother's eyes. And yet I learned 2 things. Having been paid for my performance means that I have been a professional actress since I was 7. And if one is really good or lucky, it's possible to have both love and money. Boom. Ooh, I was way over.
You said it, Peterson.
Yeah.
Great story. But yeah, I'm sorry. Don't shoot the messenger, because the messenger in this case is Barbara herself. She knows.
How much over? I mean, a lot?
Don't shoot the messenger, because these stories are so short that an extra 10 seconds really makes a big difference. If it's 5 or 6 minutes, sure. Steph, you know this. She's too much over. We love her and we love her costume, but I'm going to ask you to only summarize 4 stories. And if you want to get upset with me, that's fine. Just wait until after the show's over. So we've got Francesca. I hope I got the order right.
Francesca.
Francesca. Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Where is the girl? Oh, there she is. In 2015, Francesca becomes overwhelmed with grief, then a burning passion during an exchange with Rod, the cab driver.
Okay.
All right. Well, moving on. Jeff. Jeff is the only Jew stew at a Methodist university who never found out if he was actually truly discriminated against or not. Jew stew stands for Jewish student. You can say Jew stew when you're 3% Ashkenazi.
Okay.
Jamie. Jamie's half brother promotes Jamie's dad Bubba to heaven before Bubba starts his swinging.
Okay.
Jim discovers what's real when he arrives in Harlem only to witness a fight and a Coke bottle.
All right. I think I've done a good enough job sort of summarizing these after your lovely summary. Now, of course, when everyone votes here, we will have a winner. I'm just wondering, so I want to do this now so people just, it's fresh on their minds, they'll vote, but we might want to like wait to announce the winner until at least after your final 2 interrogations. Is that fair?
Sure.
And then I also want to find the workshop winner.
Absolutely.
All right.
Oh boy, this is tough, huh?
Yeah.
How are they going to vote? I don't know how you're going to vote.
So right now I'm going to launch the poll because I want it to be fresh, but we're going to wait to announce the winner until everything else is done, and then we'll announce. This is how we keep people on Netflix. I mean, Zoom.
Should I announce the winner then?
No.
Okay.
You don't know the winner.
No, I don't.
Announce the poll.
I'm just kidding. We're not.
We have 4. I know she's so hard to read. Deadpan.
Sorry.
This is training at the highest of levels. We've got 4 names here, and the person who wins will be your winner. And if there's a tie, we will do 1 runoff, and then that's that. Francesca, Jeff, Jamie, and James, let us do this.
Good luck voting. Good luck.
All right, well, we're going to run this as long as we have to. You seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah, this is rough.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to be one of them.
Yep.
Not
Close.
for a minute.
It's close. It looks like a 2-person race. Don't say names. It is indeed tough voting.
It's really, really, I mean, 4 excellent stories.
Yeah, good story.
5 excellent stories.
Yeah.
But then you could put the kibosh on that one.
It's interesting, Steph. I was going through some of the old videos and I was looking at like August and September's 99-second story slam. It really has, but the craft has gotten better. There are better stories. It's clear that a year later or more, people are just better at this.
Yeah, well, we've had nothing else to do, really.
Nothing other than pickleball. We have a winner, correct?
I think we have a clear winner at this.
Do not announce it. I'm going to give you the honors of announcing it, but not yet.
Well, sweet.
I want to do 2 things before we announce the winner. And whether the audience might get upset with me, I can't help but just say, man, Linda and Neshama, get ready. And if anybody has a question they want Steph to ask, please put it in the chat. After this part, we are going to ask, Steph is going to decide on who gets to be in that workshop. By the way, Steph, have people expressed interest? Do we have any names for the workshop?
Oh, yeah, we've got, do we have names?
Who will ask one last time because people might have been on the loo.
We have 5 names.
You'll do the thing, and then we'll have a winner, and then we'll announce the actual winner, and people will finally be able to just go back to their lives. Linda, are you ready?
Ready.
There she is. Steph, do what you do. I've got the clock. Here we go.
Are you ready, Linda? Where are you? Can you spotlight her?
Of course I can.
Well, I can spotlight her too. All right, Linda. Do you believe in the occult?
Absolutely.
Are you magic yourself?
Absolutely. Yes.
What magic skills do you have?
I talk to dead people. I dream true. I have dreams that come true. And sometimes I can read people's minds.
Oh, what's your sign?
Virgo.
Is being a psychic your day job?
I'm retired. I used to be public relations manager for the city of Charlotte. And yes, I had to be psychic to be able to do that job.
Are you married?
No.
And Reba wants to know who died.
My great great grandfather.
What's your favorite cocktail? If you drink cocktails?
I don't drink cocktails, but I really like a really toasty, warm, oaky Chardonnay.
Are you a health nut?
Yes, I am. Yes, I'm a Reiki master, and I eat almost all organic, very little meat, and really enjoy. I have a huge organic garden. Cook most of my own food, fresh veggies and all. And I do turkey hunt though.
What's your favorite song?
Oh, I have so many. It really depends on the moment. One of my favorite groups right now, I love Home Free, anything they're putting out. And Avi Kaplan, who used to be with Pentatonics, he's putting out some tremendous, beautiful stuff right now.
99 is done. Thank you, Linda in West Virginia. Steph, there are some questions that came in the chat that you might not have seen. You can give them to or Franklin. Everyone's like, dude, announce the fucking winner. I will very soon. Neshama, where are you? There she is.
Right here.
She's always game to play a fun game. Here she is. Steph, do your thing.
I wanted to hear more about the clairvoyant stuff.
Sorry, 99 is 99.
Interesting. Okay. Hi, Neshama.
Hi.
Are you ready?
It's a glorious consolation prize. I like it even better than winning.
Oh, no, you can't start the clock. We haven't started yet, Sean. Turn that clock around. Okay, Neshama, do you feel like you're intuitive or psychic or clairvoyant?
I'm pretty intuitive, but I'm not clairvoyant.
What's your favorite book?
I have many, too many. I read like a book a day, so I cannot possibly. But I really love the overstory. That grabbed me. Many grabbed me, but I talk the overstory up a lot. Trees and connection.
Do you mostly read fiction or nonfiction?
Mostly fiction, but I veer.
Did you ever drop acid?
A couple times. Indelible in my mind. I tell stories about it.
What's your favorite vacation of your whole life?
Oh, up Puerto Rico with my husband in the phosphorescent bay.
What's your job, or what is your job, or what was your job?
My job is a library person, and I'll do it till they wheel me out on a book cart.
Do you have any kids?
One living, one dead.
Aww.
And three grown grandchildren.
What did you do during the summer of love?
Oh.
I was just doing it up the wazoo. I really, I remember at the Trips Festival hurling my glass necklace up into the lights and watching it just shatter, and woo, that was fun.
Were you a hippie?
Oh, yes.
And scene. That's the perfect way to end that little combo. Great job. Thank you, Neshama. And I think we can all agree that if there's going to be a hashtag this evening, it is hashtag Wazoo. Can we all? I mean, come on. There's no doubt that that's the. Steph, if anybody who has not given your name to Steph Rogers and wants to be a part of our workshop and wants to get in for free, we'll take your money. But if you want to get in for free, make sure Steph has your name in the next 20 seconds. Steph, you'll put those names into your fancy thing.
Yes, I will.
I'll check the chat, but just put it right in the chat.
Don't you just want to talk to people more because they're so interesting? That
Well,
would
what
just
we're going to do is we're going to announce the winner of the workshop. We're going to announce the winner of the slam. And then anybody else who wants to hang out, we can talk. And if that talk looks like you doing what you just did, including Barbara, who wants to get interrogated by Steph, then we'll do that. Wonderful. Is that cool?
Yes.
Just to
yes,
sort of,
yes.
some people are like, all right, dude, I want to know the winner and go home and leave. Fine. Shari and Barbara, I believe, both want to add their names if you don't have them.
You can leave me off. I thought it was for the workshop.
No, wait, what's the me thing?
I thought that was for the workshop. I thought we had to add a name for that. Oh, it is. Okay. But it's not but I have to be questioned.
No, you don't. That's not part of it.
Okay.
You don't have to be interrogated to be part of the workshop. We're just trying to do a lot of things here tonight.
Okay.
We're going to add Barbara and Shari. Tell me if I'm wrong. To the workshop. Possible. One person gets it for free. Yes? You have 10 more seconds to put your name into Steph if you want a free workshop spot.
Okay,
This
are you ready?
program is not part of Netflix or any affiliate of Netflix. We are looking for sponsors. We are starting it at $1,000. JP, are you still with us? JP's gone. You notice that? The guy who talked about the money. Steph, can you share your screen and give us your, ooh, I love that.
Wait.
Stop it.
Here he goes. Oh!
Oh! Wait.
Erica, were you supposed to be on there?
Yeah.
Erica's
That's definitely Erica. Yay, Erica.
Definitely Erica.
close. Linda's going to be a little bit disappointed. Yep.
She can
But-
go if she really, yeah. I mean,
Okay, well, you can talk to Linda about it in the chat. And if you want to give it to Linda and
Right,
whoever-
you're always up.
How come I was on there twice?
Wore a costume this.
How come I was on the wheel twice?
Oh,
I
you
mean,
were
I
on
was
there, right?
pretty, I was pretty happy that I was picked because I feel like I'm terrible at
or
the
a
99
pass-
seconds.
Pass will
Sorry.
still be
Have we worked this out before we announce the winner?
I think Erica is the winner, and Linda, we can discuss with you later. There's
Well,
always
here's what we're going to do. We're going to announce our winner. And they actually won by a bit of a considerable margin. So the people have spoken. But thank you, everyone, on Halloween for joining us. And then if you want to stick around afterwards, we hang out, Q&A. If you want to get interrogated by Steph, that's cool. We'll work out the workshop stuff. Steph, you are very clear on who the winner is, correct?
I am very clear.
I want to give you the honor, for lack of a better word, to announce season 5, slam number 2, 99-second winner. Go ahead.
Thank you, Sean. It's been a pleasure. The winner for tonight's slam is Francesca.
Well done, Francesca.
Francesca wins.
Very well done. Let us unmute and I will stop the recording, just so you know. Thank you, everyone, for being here on Zoom, on Facebook Live, on Halloween. We're out. Do some sort of silly thing, Steph. Hey.